Hello and welcome to your 8th tutorial on how to create an FPS game. So let's open Unity. Wait for it to load. And bam. Now what we're going to be doing today is keep continuing the AI programming. Now today what we'll learn how to do is how to make it react to the player. So right now if we look at this, it's pretty much ignoring the player. It's just, doing its own thing, ignoring walls. And yeah, it's not really doing anything. But today, we want to make it like see the player and follow it once it gets the player. Right? So let's start by opening up our AI move. Great. Now, I told you in previous tutorials that hit stores information about the object the raycast hit. So today we're going to use that, put that to use. So we're going to type if, and now we're going to check if we hit the player. And we do that by first making the player like recognizable by tagging it as a player. So you can go add tag. I already have that tag, but you can add it to player. Then go again, player. There, make sure that is like that. And in the code you must spell it the same way you spelled the tag. So if hit dot transform, because it only detects the transform. And now we gotta access the game object because that's where the tag lies. Now that tag equals player. There, just like we spelled it on here. See, player with a capital P. Just get that clear. And now we're gonna open brackets, and we're also gonna do an else. So if it's not a player, then just keep rotating. And we don't need brackets for this because it's only one line. But in here, what we're gonna want to do is first have it look at the player, and we do that by calling a function of transform class, transform dot look at, which is pretty self-explanatory. You give it a transform, and it looks at its position, changes the rotation to its position. And now we want to make it move forward as long as it's not too close to the player, so we won't be like hugging us and raping us or whatever. So first we gotta calculate the distance. And we also have a built-in function for that, which is of the vector3 class, and that's called distance. So we're just gonna store it in the variable first called dist, short for distance, equals vector3 dot distance. Perfect. Now what this takes in the parameters is two parameters. One object, and then one position, and then the other position. This is the position. You want this position to look at this position. This is what it does. It calculates the distance between these two. So if it was confusing, then never mind. You'll get the point. So let's type in here hit dot transform. It's very important we don't do hit dot point. Otherwise, it will look at a certain point in the player, and that will give us a false distance. So you're gonna go transform dot position, just like that. And now here we're just gonna type transform dot position, which is our transform. Let's maximize that window. There. Now once we've got the distance, we want to check if it's close enough. So we'll go if dist is bigger than 2.5. This is the default distance because I've done things like this before in Unity, and I just remember this distance to be perfect. So if distance is bigger than 2.5, and now we want to make it stop. So first of all, we don't need the brackets because it's only one line. And now here is where the temporary variable called velocity comes in handy. We now set velocity equal to 0. So 0 speed. Here we'll times it by 0, and whatever times by 0 equals 0, so it won't move. And now else, if it has been equal to this, if he has gotten closer and then he has gotten farther, then we want to set velocity back to speed. Whoops. Like that, control save. And now let's test it out. Right, now let's cut him. Whoa, that was a fail. Let's make him slower so it'll be easier. So speed equals 4. Great. Now you see it'll be moving like a slow poke. So you hit a wall, you turned, and then here I await you. Ah, there, I caught his attention. And there he follows me until I get out of his sight of range. So yeah, he's turning towards me. If you haven't noticed, he's coming towards me. You can also see that if you drag the scene view down, but I'm not going to do that now. So yeah, you might want to make his sight of range a little bigger, like 15 per se. There you go. You notice that will cause some bugs in the turning, but you get the point. In the next tutorial we'll fix that. So yeah, that's all for today, and bye bye.